Most side hustlers waste months perfecting in private. As the CEO of your own side business, you are not going to do that. You are going to launch small. You are going to collect feedback fast, and you will adjust as you go. That is your CEO feedback loop, and it's your focus for today. Welcome to From Corporate to CEO, hosted by the Power Move Collective. I'm your host, Nandy B, and this is your daily podcast that proves that you don't have to resign in order to rise. Here, ambitious women like yourself learn how to leverage your paycheck, your skills, and your corporate career to launch and grow your own business. And in just 10 minutes every day, I'll share power moves that will turn your 9 to 5 into your greatest investor. Make sure, however, that you hit subscribe so that you never miss an episode. With that said, let's get on with today's episode. Welcome back to another day in week 3 as we continue our discussion on turning clarity into evidence. Today, we are going to be building your feedback loop. This is what tells you whether to refine, pivot, or double down. The CEO feedback loop is about speed. So instead of waiting months to see if something works, you gather all of the data within a few days or maximum a few weeks. This feedback gives you clarity. You will be able to understand very quickly whether or not an idea is worth pursuing as is. Does it need adjusting? Or do you need to completely pivot? So yesterday we talked about your minimum viable offer. This feedback is what turns your minimum viable offer into now a proven business. So now I am going to give you my 3-step feedback loop. Step number 1, launch small. As a woman with a side business, for you, launching small could mean putting your minimum viable offer out there like we talked about yesterday. So quickly put it together without overthinking. You don't need for it to be polished. You don't need a big audience or the perfect funnel. You just need proof that at least a few people want what you are offering. So even if you're just going to test it on 3 to 5 test clients, right? This will give you really valuable information. We talked about that in detail yesterday. The power question here is, what is the smallest version of this idea I can put into the world this week? Because remember, we want to move quickly. We want to move as quickly as we possibly can. Now, the second step is to then begin to collect real feedback. After somebody has actually experienced that MVO, make sure you ask them very directly. Do not be ashamed. Do not be uncomfortable. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because these emotions are real. And I've been there. I'm currently going through the process. Sometimes it can feel uncomfortable for you to ask these very direct questions, but you have to look for it inside of yourself to find the courage and the comfort to ask these questions. What worked well for you? What was confusing or unclear? What would make this offer even more valuable to you? These 3 simple questions will uncover both the strengths and the weakness of your pitch and your offer. So it's really important here that you don't go in with all of your feelings, okay? Don't just listen for compliments or get offended or hurt when the answers are a little bit negative. You want to listen for gaps. You want to listen for things you can improve on. Recently, I did my interview, and this one friend, I picked her on purpose because I knew she would give me a lot of ideas. But very quickly, as she started giving me those ideas, I looked like this. Outwardly, I was smiling. Inside, my face was drooping. But then I had to check myself. I was like, Nandy, this is exactly why you chose these people. Because you knew these were the people who were going to be open and honest. At the end of our discussion, she actually wanted to sign up for my program. And she even wants to join in partnership. As you listen to the gaps, not just the compliments or the overly negative things, but you're really listening for how you are going to make the next version even stronger. So ask yourself, am I asking for feedback or am I avoiding it because I am scared of the answer? That is a question for you to ponder. The third step here is to adjust and iterate. Your business is the same. In your business, you will always start small and you will iterate, you will iterate, you will iterate. Don't expect to nail it on the first try. Take the feedback you collected, make the adjustments, and run the offer again. Maybe you shorten the sessions or add more examples or you raise the price slightly. The faster you cycle this, test, refine, relaunch, the faster you will find your sweet spot. So, for this step, ask yourself, am I willing to treat this as version number 1 and commit to improving instead of perfecting? This is what separates hobbyists from side business CEO. Because hobbyists build once and hope it works. Fingers crossed. However, as we are moving you into the CEO mindset, you are going to launch small, listen hard, and adjust quickly. Here, feedback is fuel, and the faster you run this loop, the faster you are going to grow. So your action plan for today is to write down questions that will go with your minimum viable offer so that you can truly validate and get the right feedback you need. Don't wait until the offer is over or you forget. Use your questions to refine and test out your offer and really get those meaningful feedback. So I'm going to repeat the top 3 questions that I would suggest you add to your interview questions, your minimum viable offer. Question number 1, what worked well for you? Question number 2, what was confusing or unclear? Question number 3, what would make this offer even more valuable for you? Set the expectation up front that you are here to listen. Let your participants know that you will be asking for feedback. That way, they will come ready and open to start sharing with you. Take these questions, put them in writing, open your notebook, your journal, your planner, and write down all of the feedback you are getting and begin processing the feedback. Literally spell it out. After my session, I will send a survey link, or at the end, I will ask you 3 live questions. This is really important. I don't know what your minimum viable offer is. I don't know if it's going to be a service that you will offer, a product that people have to test, but just set the expectation with your audience up front. I'm going to need this from you. You can even help explain the context as to why this is important to you. Don't leave feedback to chance. If you wait until after your test to figure out how you will collect the feedback, you will miss on the opportunity. So you also want to be very clear on that feedback process in advance. Because without feedback, there's nothing to refine. So in your action plan, be very clear on what feedback you would collect and how you will collect that feedback. So remember, don't build in the dark. Feedback is your fuel, but only if you ask for it intentionally. Thank you so much for joining me today on From Corporate to CEO. If you loved what you heard today, Please subscribe to the show and visit us at powermovecollective.com. And if you are ready to start taking action, here are two great options. You can download our free Safe Start Blueprint. It's on our website and the link is also in the description below. However, if you, my darling, are ready to take action and say goodbye to corporate America for good, join us in the Business Plan Mastermind that is kicking off on January 12th, 2026.